Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again to another live with AstroPrinter. My name is Liam, for those who do not know me. And normally I do 3D printers and so on. So before we get started, can someone please let me know that audio is good? Just give me a thumbs up or a yes, audio is good and video is good and so on before we get started. Just I always want to get confirmation that the output is good and you can hear me and you can see me, everything's clear. And let's see what happens in chat. Not good, just okay. What's not good, Jerry? Audio, video, what? I'm uploading in 4K. It's all good for you? Okay, Vincent. No good, you can hear and see me. Okay. Sorry, there's nothing I can do about that. I'll change that in a moment because I'm actually going to go to an overhead cam when we start filming this. So you don't have to see me anymore, okay? How's that, Chris? So let's see who else is out there. So we have Chris. How are you, sir? And Vincent. Jerry. Who else is out there? Old Curmudgeon, first on. He said he's lurking, but he's trying to pay some attention while he's working today. There's one person there, XXIMC, crazy lazy. Okay, I'm assuming you know who you are, right? Hello, hello to you. So, so what are we going to do today? Today we're going to the guys over at what's their names again? Robotime. The company's name is Robotime. You go to robotime.com. They have a branch of their products called ROKR, and they make some really cool laser cut plywood models that you can assemble. And I was talking to the guys and said, since I'm a science nerd, they sent me on their Orrery. And for those who do not know what an Orrery is, let me quickly show you. Where is my? I want to go to close-up video only. There we go. This is an Orrery. So it actually represents the planets. They orbit around the center. It's kind of cool. Oh, it's Ernie. Hey, Ernie, how are you? Sorry, yeah. So let's see. I stopped my print yesterday. Oh, okay. The sound is from a different mic. I see why. I'm sorry. Why? Is that better? Does that sound better? It looks like it was picking up the mic from my overhead camera as well. So is the audio better? Just let me know in chat. It should be using my primary mic, which is over here on my desk. And it looked like it was picking up from my overhead camera above my head here. So is that audio much better, guys? Hopefully it is. So as I said, it sounds the same. It shouldn't. 1 second, let me check something here. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to see why my audio is doing this. That's all. Overhead is off. That's all off. Close up cam, that's on, that's off. Close up only. It's all off other than the only audio that's on is my main camera, my main audio mic here. That's weird. It should not be sounding like that because. Let me make sure it's the right one's turned on. It is. No, but this, yeah, but my mic is my good mic, so I don't know why it's doing that. Because the others are disabled in all my other views. The only one that's on is my Blue Snowball microphone, which is the main one I use. And we're using this overhead cam right now. So I don't know why it's doing that. Let me enable and disable that. Any better? Let me check, because there should only be one audio. Is any better now? Hopefully it is, because all the other mics are turned off. Anyway, so the Orrery represents the planets orbiting the sun. So you have the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, all represented here. And it's actually, there's an LED light that runs to the top that's actually powered by turning this like a little dynamo. Actually, and I can show you that in a while. And the planets actually will move because these are all geared. Now, let me show you what's inside. This is all laser cut on plywood. So just open it up. And I'll get this box out of the way here in a few moments. So we have a whole series of these parts laser cut. And they were all done in a CO2 laser. I've seen the way they have their setup. It's all done in a CO2 laser. And each one of these panels are numbered. You can see here. They all got numbers and so on. And each component is lettered, so you know what component to use. And so we'll get into that in a moment. And then we have a 41 pages of assembly instructions, step-by-step guide. Get this out of the way to the side for now. We have our sun. We have the planets representation. This is if you look closely right in there, you can see the windings. This is your dynamo, some acrylic tubing, some various bolts and so on. Most of it's clipped together, but there are some screws and bolts. There's some a little sanding pad. The LED light for the sun. This is little candle wax. It's used. It's hard to see there, is it? These are candle wax, and they are actually used to lubricate the wooden joints. You can't put a liquid lube on it because like an oil, it will absorb in. So you wax the oil where the gears interact. These are a whole pile of little plastic washers. Some various bolts, as I said, to hold stuff together. And then we have more bolts and rods and screws and caps and so on, all in here. So let's get started with the kit. And I'm going to put the box to the side out of my way. We don't need it over here yet. And I'm going to get rid of my keyboard. I don't need that. So keyboard's out of the way. The box will stay to the side. I will take out the pieces I think we need on a regular basis. There's going to be these bolts and washers and so on. I'll just leave them up here on top. I'm sure we need these regularly for the assembly. And let's open this up. Hey, Mr. Diesel, how are you? So now these are laser cut, so they're only held in place by friction. So we need to be careful when we're taking them out. Now, what the kit is, we verified a price. I look at it on Amazon. The kit is $76.99, so $77 on Amazon. But it's an all-inclusive kit. Everything you need. Let me pierce through the plastic here without damaging any of the wood. No, this is designed for adults. Could you do it with your kid? Of course you can. Really young kids, no. They say not suitable for kids of 3 or older, or 3 or younger. But there's so many small little pieces in here and pieces to be put together. It is a good project to work with kids or to do it on your own if you're interested in doing your own project. I'm doing it as my own because I'm the nerd. I'm building an Orrery, which is a representation of the planets, a functioning model representing the planets. So let me unpack these first, gently, and try not to. Oh, another piece of sandpaper. Now there is one thing in the model that says I need to get this E18. This part I need for part of the assembly, so I need to find board E. That's A, B. Let me take out the corners. C, D, E. I need E18. Gently move this. Where's the piece I need? I'm going to find that part that I need. It's a little tool I will need for the assembly. And this is going to take a while to find all these components, guys. So it's not going to be a one shot done in one go. There it is. E18, this piece here. So just pop this. Sure, I'm only getting that one piece first. These are stuck together. 1 second, let me gently move these. I don't want them to pop out of their space. We pop out E18. Nicely done, nicely laser cut. This is the tool we need as part of the assembly. Hey Matt, how are you? So we'll leave this over here. And then we'll go into, so we need that. We will also need these parts. So 2 P1s washers, a P2. Now one thing you need to know as well, the scale of the parts for here are actually 2 scale. So the P2 part, you see this here. If you get the piece from the bag and line it up, it'll be the same length. So this is a 1-for-1 scale model for the washers and the bolts and so on. You have 1-for-1 scale, so it's easier to find the parts you're looking for. So I need E25. So let's find E25. So that's E25. What number is this one? That's E3. I need E3 anyway, so let's pop this on out gently. Have to be gentle with this. It's only 3mm ply. So that's that. These are all E16s. So I will not need those yet. So let me get these out of here. I'll store them over here. Hey Gary, how are you? So these are all the same part number, E16s. So I will need that. I need an E3, I need an E25. So this is E13, 15, 22, 20, 17, E1, E25, right over here. You can pop that out. It's a gear. E25. What else do I need? And B14. That's a 16. So B14 is on the previous plate. That's B. This is B14. Where is it? 3. B14 is a round disc. That's B12, B14, right here. We'll leave that. So a P1, a P2, P1, one of those discs. Okay, so let me put that aside as it is, and let's get this piece assembled. Battleship. You sunk my battleship. So we need these two parts. These two. I will need 2 P1 washers, which are the small clear ones. These clear washers. I need 2 of them. Oh, I need 4 of them. You can open that a little bit wider. 4 of these washers. I need a P2 bar, which is probably in here. Is this power to orbit? I believe it's done by hand, but it shouldn't be hard to modify to add a little stepper motor in there, I'm guessing. It's hand cranked. There's a hand crank on the side. I can show you in a minute. So P2 bar, that's too long. That's not the P2. I need a shorter one than this. P2 bar fits exactly. And the instructions are put on 2 washers on the P2 bar. 1. Push this in closer. Just push it down. These are kind of hard to push on, so they need a bit of a nudge. One. Get them started on the table. So it does take. It's not really designed for kids. It does take a bit of elbow grease in the assembly. Over the table again on something solid, so I don't mind getting crushed a little bit. Perfect. Get a gap in them, force it on. Okay, and then it says the gear. Now, before I put the gear on, I will need a wax sticks. So we'll get the wax sticks out, the candle wax sticks. Got one of those, and we'll use that for lubricate the gears. The candle wax acts as a lubricant, because you can't use a wet lubricant on it, so a dry lube, like a grease or something like that, but a grease would absorb, so the candle wax won't absorb. We just cover all of the gears with that. A good bit of a coating on there. When it crushes them together, it'll all build up. And does it say all gear teeth should be waxed? That's done. Flatten the shaft and sleeves at both ends. Okay. So push the shaft through. Oh no, spacer first. Sorry. The shaft goes through. and then these go on top. And this is where this little tool comes into play. I'll push everything together. And let's see, that goes into, on the board here, there's an arrow, it goes in right here. So I'm going to have to push this further in on this side. Oh, I did something wrong here. Sorry, my mistake. Of course I did. These washers are supposed to be on the outside, not on the inside. So let me just separate these out and pull them off. So they have to come off. This goes through here, and then they hold it on the outside. So this goes on here, and then these two washers go on the outside. Now, does it say this should be flatten the shaft sleeves on both ends? So I'm wondering if we need to flatten it really tight down. Oh, we do. Okay. There. So we have our first gear installed. That's step one. Okay, next, step two is I have to assemble the, let me put that aside. Make sure I didn't miss anything there. I didn't. It just does turn freely. I'll put that aside for temporarily. Step two is to assemble the dynamo. So I need the dynamo. And I need B18. P4 is a dynamo. I need B18 and C7. Okay, B18. So let's go back to our stack of components and go to B18. So this one is ready. This is A, so B18 is on here. And B18 is this one. Put that back out of the way. So we make sure this is nice and smooth because we took it out. If there's any rough edges, we'll smoothen them up. Slight stepping there, which is a key to leave it in place. Okay, B18, and we need it on this side. And we need to get our dynamo. Let's see if we can turn this or orientate this the right way around. So the dynamo needs to go on the large gear over here. On here, like this it looks like. Yeah. And I need to screw it into place using, first of all, I need to get two C17s. You grab those off the stack, C17, C17s, and then these four of them, so these are small components right here. This is very well cut, by the way. I don't know why the audio is doing that, because there's only one audio mic I'm using. Let me look at it again, but let me have a look at the audio. I don't know why, because let me check here. Properties of this. It's the only one. Yeah. It's the only microphone I'm using. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me try something here. Audio here. Oh, that's why. I found out why. Can you hear me? Is that better? Is it much better now? So, I need to get. I'll just move that out of my way temporarily. Okay. The issue wasn't OBS, it was actually StreamYard. Anyway, so we're up and running again. So we have the first section done. So we need to get this in here, and it's assembled by 4 P5 screws. So P5s, these are the P5 screws. I need 4 of these. Thank you. It's just, I'm sorry, guys. When you're dealing with StreamYard, it does some funky stuff. These 4 P5 screws. 3, 4 P5 screws, and I need to keep these away for later. And I'll need a little screwdriver it comes with. Smooth like butter. That's what we love to hear. So let's get these started. These 4 P5 screws hold this little dynamo in place. And we'll test the dynamo in a moment. Before proceeding, because we'll try it out with the LED. Those small screws, big hands do not work well together. There we go, got started. I won't tighten them down yet. My son is doing, his temperature is back to normal today, Jerry. Thank you for asking. I don't know, but we did give him meds for his temp. Let's see if it stays at normal, like throughout the night and into tomorrow. And if it does, then he's already broken the fever, and that was only 1 day, which is fantastic. Or 2 days, sorry. Yeah. So hopefully he's broken his fever. And if that's it, then it's just waiting a time for his body to flush out, because he had COVID. For those who do not know, my son came home sick on Friday from school, and we tested him with a home kit, and it lit up like a Christmas tree for COVID, and nobody else in the family has had it to date. So once that happened, he was isolated. None of the rest of us showing any signs. So hopefully it will stay that way. And it looks like hopefully he's broken the fever, but we won't know for a day or two. Okay, so that is our assembly done. 4 screws. And they're saying that this wire is going to feed around here, come out through here anyway, for use later on. So let me just get that straightened up. It's a bit twisted, and I don't want to use a wire that's twisted. There you go. And then we have to get 2 of these each together. And they clip on in these little grooves here on the sides, in each side here, here and here. You just slot into place, keeping them square. Come on, somebody's going to sing the song, Hip to Be Square. Come on, guys, someone has to do it. And just 2 on the other side. Now, I am going to get a code. They never sent me the code yet. They were supposed to, and I didn't get it. So I'm supposed to get a discount code for anybody here who wants to buy one. I will update the description. I emailed them and asked them again for it. But as soon as I get it, I will post it. I'll I do want to check one thing though. The LED, which is here, that will light up for the sun. We just will connect into this. All right. Okay, I'm not spinning it very well, but that's it. That's going to light up the sun. So we know that works. So when you turn the handle on the side, it will run that small dynamo. But I'm sure you could always run it off a 12, like a battery. You have to figure out what voltage this dynamo is generating. Shouldn't be hard to replicate. Okay, so we have that done and those 4 parts assembled. Next, we will need a P6 bolt and P3, P4s. We have some more P4s there. And that's going to attach that part onto this part. So let's see, I need 2 P6s. These are P18s, P23s. 2 P6 bolts. Take these out. Small brass colored screws. And a P3. What's a P3? P3 is... Oh, the P3 is a screwdriver. Gosh. I actually need 4 of those bolts, not 2. 4 of them. I don't know what the video is mushy. I'm doing a 720K. We need 4 of these. And this gets mounted in here. There's little slots for these little legs that are sticking out on each side. And the gears point towards me. Slots in here. And then slots on the other side. And then we screw it straight down. It's not set to autofocus, so it should be focused on this distance. I turned off the autofocus. Okay, so get that assembled on there. These 2 as well. Looks like it's coming together, guys. No, we're just starting, but still. I have my phone on the desk beside me in case my son texts me. In case he needs me, because he's upstairs in his bedroom, confined. He's happy. He's got his phone, he's got his laptop. What else does he need? Let me see if I can turn on autofocus, see if it'll make a difference. I don't know. I set it to the desk, but let me go in and change that while I'm here. Since you're asking, I'll go configure my video. My camera focus is set to auto. So I don't see a difference there. Maybe you do. I don't know. So we have that mounted, and this will need to come out here underneath through this big hole in the bottom. So it feeds through here, and we'll access that later on. And it's now saying it'll be run around the back over roughly to here. So let me get some, I think I have some masking tape nearby. Yeah, just give me 1 second. Let me get some masking tape. Just put a little bit of masking tape on it to hold everything in place, because that's the route they wanted to take. So I'm going to put it over here and just half of that would be plenty, and temporarily tape that down here. So we have that piece done. Now it says I need to E23 and E24, so I'll put that aside. It's a bit better. Okay, I'm glad. Thank you for letting me know. So E23 and E24. This is E. A lot of pieces here. E20. Oh, this is D. Sorry. E23 and 24. These two long pieces over here. Let's pop these out. There are these really long pieces right along the bottom here, guys. Sorry, I didn't realize it was off the edge of camera. Be careful with these two. E23, this is what? D. I want to keep them in the right order so it's easier for me to find the parts. E23 and 24. Let's separate these out, and they need a bit of a rub down with sandpaper. Just to get where they are joined, so they wouldn't fall out on the main cutout. Same here. Did you get it like that? The other parts in the? Oh no, it came as a kit, pre-done, pre-cut, everything. So you can buy it. It's 77. We've just verified on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon. The link is below. It's $77 on Amazon, but there's a lot of little pieces that goes into this, so it's not like it's pretty complex. There's a lot involved in it, right? So let's get these two pieces, and it needs to be. Let's see here what it says here. Use the tool to press E17 and 23. E18 and to press E23. Oh, okay. So these need to go together like so to create a central tower, I'm assuming. One inside the other, step side inside the other. There we go. And push it down firmly so they're flush at the end. Not quite. Almost there. Okay, so they're flush at the end. We'll create the central tower. And then that goes right up through here. Oh, wait, no, I need to get another wire. So there's another wire I need for the LED. This one. And the LED wire needs to run through the center and be plugged in over here. There. And then I have to feed this up through here without snagging the cable. Get the cable through. Let's see, they route the cable. You have a diagram here showing the cable goes around this part here. Okay. And then I have to route this up around it. without by bringing the cable into these slots, by the way. The cable needs to go down through the groove there on the side, the corner. Let's do a bit of a, let's jiggle it a little bit. Cable up out of the way so it doesn't get damaged. And then it says, notice the positive and negative directions of the cable. Yeah, that's a given. And let's see what else here around the cable. So this will then mount on top here, going through the slot right there. It will mount right there on top, the LED will. And let me see what people are saying in chat. And then you pull out the excess underneath. So there's a bit of slack underneath here. And that aligns your cable up there. Now, I'm going to use a small bit of sticky tape, a bit of masking tape, just to hold that. I know I'll have to put stuff over it later, but for now, I'm going to temporarily hold it in place with a bit of masking tape on top, just to make sure it doesn't shift and I don't drag cables and damage anything. Okay, so now so this will be, if you see the camera, see the light flashing. When it's on a handle, it will actually rotate faster, so it generates electricity because there's a little dynamo here. Okay, what's next? Let's see. So we had that done. Okay, I need to get the next piece, which is C15. So ABC, C15, that's C6, C4, C15 is right in the middle here. You need to be careful popping this one out. I'm trying to keep the layers in order so it's easy to follow. And there's a little bit of excess here, so let me clean that off with the sandpaper. That's it, actually. So C15, and C15 goes into here. Actually, I'm going to turn the numbered side inwards. C15 goes in right there. And what else is it? What is C15? How is C15 held in place? Okay, so I have B9 by 2 that I have to get. B9. Where's our B9? That's B10, B24. Where's B9? B7, 6, 4, 3, 1, 10, 24, 23, B3, B21, B19. I don't see where, oh, these are, no, there they are, B9. These tiny little pieces. Those tiny little pieces. And B9 is used underneath to create a wedge. Okay, so I need to put B9, those small little pieces I just pulled out. And they push into these holes right here as a wedge to hold it together. We get them started, and then I line up something else to jimmy them into place so I can use a flat surface, give me more leverage. There we go. Just jimmy them into place. And there we have them wedging piece in place. Okay, so what's next? Next I need D8 and E7 and E6. So D8. Let me transfer these boards over and back. This is D8, which is this large one. Just gently pop that out. D8, and I said E7. I'll leave that up here for now. And E7 and E6. There's E7 and E6 are these two, so get these out. So far, it's not a complex build. It's just so many small little pieces that you should be wary of. Let me get this side popped as well. These are going to come out as one. These other E pieces, there's no way around that because they're inside in the other one. And I can break them off and put them back in. We do not need this piece, centerpiece. None of that's needed yet. And leave those there. So let's see what we have to do with this. Other than sanding them, which I have to give, there's a bit of a raised area there. Make sure it's smooth. Doesn't need much. So how's the rest of your guys' weekend going? Actually, you know, they could potentially sell this as a laser kit. Sebastian, they could potentially sell it as a kit. They haven't. Will you engrave it yourself if you had a large enough laser? But that's how they make their money, I'm sure, is because they sell it as a kit themselves. They have a lot of lasers. I've seen videos of their layout in there, and they have a lot of lasers cutting these parts out. So we have D8 that joins these to E7. This is E6 and this is E7. And I'm putting the text inwards. And this will be joining this piece to this piece. Create a stand. This is the blank side inwards. Or the printed side out. Did I put it the wrong way around? I did. It says printed side out. It did. No, it's all right. I can just spin it around. Okay, you should read all the instructions. Let's see what else it says. Align the triangles and circles on both parts. Triangles. I don't see any triangles or circles on these. These are all circular, so I'm assuming that's correct. There's no triangle stamped on these. Next, I need F2 and F3. So I haven't got down to the F level yet. Maybe by the end of this, there'll be lots of F's to be said. But let's see. F is. So I need parts F2 and F3. F3 is here. Okay, again, we're going to have to lose the center part. Oh, there's the triangles they're referring to right here. F2 and F3. So how was your weekend, guys? Nobody's commenting. Did you have a good weekend? Did you have a bad weekend? Was it a slow weekend? My weekend, as you can imagine, was busy with a sick kid in the house, but it's okay. It happens. As long as it looks like his fever may have broken today, so it was fast. If that was the case, it would be amazing. I don't bet on it, but it's possible. My son came down with COVID Friday, but he looks to be already on the mend. So it says here, now it says with the circles. Okay, so it says triangles on the outside. Triangles on this side is here. So triangle. So what's the triangle there, triangle here. And this goes on to this. So triangle on the outside, this sits on here. Just press fit. And this one, press fit in here. And then we're going to assemble this whole unit. So this actually slots down into this. So this will take a little bit of finesse. It means aligning these over these slots all at the same time. Make sure the wire, because there's a little loop here. There's a little loop underneath. I'll make sure the wire goes through that loop so it doesn't get snagged. And it's starting to look like something, guys. Not much yet, but it's starting to look like something. And what does it say here? Okay, routing the cables around. I've routed the cables around there. We're good here. We're good underneath this archway here. This sits well all the way around. Yeah. Okay. Starting to take shape. Okay, so we have the cables done. We're good there. A range of wires sort of shown in the center. Yeah, I've already got that done. Here's the fun part. Now we're going to generate the handle that drives the system, the whole unit that drives the system right here. So this is a lot of little parts. So bear with me, guys. Let me put that over there out of my way because I'll need an open space to do this. Okay, so I need a screwdriver. Check. I will need a whole pile of pieces here. This little handle. I need a P8. Is that too long? That's too long. That's the P8. That looks about right. So handle P8. I'll need a P10 bolt. One of these square bolts. So, handle, bolt goes through it. Put the bolt on there. Let me just get that snugged on. That's supposed to allow it to move freely once it's spinning. Okay. I will also need E11. So E11. We get that out, part E11. E10. Oh, it's actually on here, so I can use that. So E11. E11 is here. And then a P11, which is a nylock knot. That's not, that's a P22, P23, P21. So let's see if I'll need a P11. It's a P22, so it's supposed to be one of these in here. So, yeah, lots of small little components in this. But this is a nylock knot that goes on here that makes the handle something that spins. And let me tighten it in there so it bites. So now we have a handle that moves. Now, here's the fun part. All of these. So I will need a P12. P12, that was lucky. And P13 rods. That's not them. How many of them? I knew 2 P13 rods. That's a P13 rods. Okay. And I need B21. This is C. I need B. Oh, I don't want to lose that. B6, B7, B20, is it? B21, B15, B5, B6s, B6, B21, that one. Then I need a B3. That's a B3. And then I'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 B3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 B3s. And then a B12. B12 is here. Well, it's very delicate, so let's be careful with this one. And B12. Sounds like a whole series of vitamins, guys. So let's get this assembled. And I'll need to do, okay, so I need to get this ready. This goes through here into B21. No, this is correct. B21. Oh, 1 second. I got that wrong way around. That's decorative on the outside. That makes more sense. So the decorative part goes on the outside. And then I have to do these 2 pins. I have to feed each of these into this to create a stack. 1, Why not? No. I need a B3 on the outside. I need this and a B3 on the outside. And then I go in here and I line these up with the pins. Okay, because that drives it. Okay, that makes sense. So then we build a stack of these. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So these are interesting kits actually. They have. I was looking over their website. If you haven't checked it out, you should. There's a whole pile of different options they have out there. Now this is a bit rough, so I want to smoothen that out before I continue. And then I want to smoothen this as well before I put it on. So nobody up to no good all weekend, or guys, while you're out there, like and subscribe, please, if you haven't already done so. If you're on Twitch, follow me. It's appreciated. And then that goes on here. And that makes up this assembly, it looks like. And then inside that, I need a few more pieces. So I need a B15. It's a B16. That's not what I want. They're all B16. So let me put that over there with the others. I need B15. Just B1s. B15. Everyone's so quiet. So this is a B15. That doesn't seem to fit right, so I wonder, maybe I have to finish something else off first. I do. I have some more assembly to do. Okay, so I have a B15, 2 B1s, and an E10. 2 B1s, which are up here. And this is a E10. E10 is what shape? Oh, E10 is a big piece. So here it is. Still here, just having food. Oh, okay. That's just everyone's so quiet. Normally, my streams are not that people get chatty, you know. So I have that. I have E10, E26, E26, 14, 13, 26. E26, E27, which is convenient right beside it, and a G7. That's way back. We haven't got to the G's yet. These are all these lovely gears and cogs that we have out here. A G7 looks like it's like that. Oh, G17. Okay, that's right. Okay. A lot of shuffling of parts around. If you had a big open table, it'd be so much easier, but I don't. So we make do. And let's get this cleaned up a little bit before we start going. Let's see if we can get these cleaned up a little bit. Just want to smooth them out in case these are going to be experiencing any friction. So, some B3s, these are B1s. B3s. Thought I had the B3s out, didn't I? I thought I had the B3s. Maybe I'm wrong, didn't I? Let me check that again. It looks like I don't have the B1s. I have a whole pile of B3s. I thought I pulled them all out, but I didn't, apparently. Let's fix that. So I totally need... Oh, sorry, no. I'm on the wrong... I was looking at the wrong section. Okay, so let's see. I have this. You clean up... Oh, that's okay, actually. This goes on through here. And then I have a G17. Goes on the back of that. And then I have the E26. Now I want to coat this while I'm at it. Chances are it's going to be engaging in something, so I need to get some wax on it. The wax in there. E26, like so. G17, you know, I missed something, didn't I? I did, of course I did. I have to put in the two B21s first. The B15 and the B21 after this. Before this. B15s. Two B21s. Come on. These don't want to go on. Try this one. Ah, okay. Two B21s of spacers. B1. And then I have, okay, this is going to rotate in here. Okay, so since this is rotating in there, I need to put something on this as a for friction. And in here. Because these will be rubbing on each other. Yeah. And then I have the G17, which holds that all together as a unit. And then I have the E26 gear or cog, whatever you want to call it. And then a square at the end, and then a P14 nut or bolt at the end, or not P14. It's a square nut. So maybe I should put that on first. Yeah. This is P14 there. No. P14 nut. All gear T should be waxed. Yeah. I'll do these ones now in a minute as well. I'll just tighten all this in. We have moving gear. Okay. And then I need A5 to mount this into. So let me just do these gears in case these are engaging and moving in any way. A5. A5 is this piece. Oh, and I thread that over this. Over here. And then that's that assembly done. Now I also need two P6s again. And I need an E4. Get down to the E's. An E4, which is this, and C6. These are the D, A, B. I got my order all messed up. E's. E4, the C6. This is C6. That's this big piece. I'll finish up this piece, just getting this piece assembled, and I'll stop after that for today, because it's been going on for an hour and a half already, and we have a lot more parts. I'm going to do them all live, so I'll probably pop on a few times during the week if I have opportunity to do so. Okay, so this mounts onto, oh no, I have to have the E4 at the back. E4 with these two spools. Going through here into this. Okay, this is tricky. Okay, let me get this sorted out. So many little fiddly pieces, guys. But in the long run, it'll be worth it when we get it working. So I see why they say it's not for kids. Yeah, they have a lot of models. So don't buy anything yet. I'm going to get you a code. They're supposed to give me a code, and they haven't given me a code. And I believe it's going to offer you a discount. So if we're thinking about buying one, hold off. Let me get the code for you first. And then go buy it, because that way then you're getting a better deal, right? Okay, so that's assembled there. And then this all goes onto our assembly here, it looks like. So it's this way up, this way up, this way down, and it snuggles in between these by the looks of it. Let me verify if these turn the right way around. I just noticed something. These pins are very long. They may get in the way. But this slots in over this, around all of these pieces. That should be downwards. Take that off for now. I can put this stick down in a second. This is fully seated. It should line up with those gears. This fits on over the front face. It slots in. There we go. I'll just squeeze it all together, but that's how it's supposed to look. So yeah, if we're going to buy one of these, they're supposed to be giving me a code. And they never sent it to me last week like they said they would. So I've asked them for one, and they said they'll get me a code. So if you're interested in buying one, using the code is better, because you get, I believe it's a discount code. And at least that way then you can track it. Hey Britt, how are you? So we are well on the way of getting this assembled. I won't do it all, because we've been going an hour and a half now, and I've got most of it, a lot of it done. But like, that's just the base. There's a whole pile of gears and cogs to be built in here, and then there's a whole different levels to be stacked on top of this to give all the planetary motion. So let's stop at that for now. An hour and a half in. What we're getting there is starting to take shape. And let me just switch things around here. So how are you, Britt? I haven't seen you in a while. And decided to do a build of something different other than a printer today. Just let me switch things back here. So how are you doing? How's everyone doing? It's been an hour and a half. We've got a fair amount done. There's a lot of small pieces that we put together, so it's not really aimed for kids. It's a project you could do with your kids if you wanted to, and you get a working model at the end. But like I would say, like 7, 8-year-olds would be great to work with. You could actually team up with them and do it with them, but not really good for anyone younger than that. And you obviously have to watch all the missing pieces. Like, you have to have a big table, have everything compartmentalized. You can actually sort it out as you go through it. Everything is labeled, so it makes assembly easier, but you need to watch it. It's all good. Good. So we're going to wrap up at this until oh, I thought I switched over. Forgive me. So we're going to wrap up at this until I'll probably do another one sometime during the week. Tuesday I'm going to have a hangout, so we'll probably do another one maybe Wednesday or Thursday, and we'll go on to the next stage of assembling this. And there is a lot. We're only on page 10 of page 40. Was it 42? 40, yeah, 41 pages. So we have a long way to go. And so that'll be a couple of sessions at least, so about 4 parts at least. There's a lot of gears and cogs, as I said, we're getting into next, so that's going to be complex. So thank you all for joining me. I'll probably pop in, as I said, probably Wednesday or Thursday. I'll probably do another session, and we'll do the next part of the assembly, and we'll do a bit of, we'll see how far we'll get. Hopefully we'll get as far as page 20, which has a lot of gears, and let's see what's on as far as page 20. Yeah, page 20 gets us to assemble the outer case of this, and the internal gear systems as well, which is what we're getting into, and that's going to be complex and slow. So we'll do it then. Install a Wi-Fi module on my AstroPrinter and update the firmware. Cool. Oh, you got the WeDo, don't you, Chris? I think you said you had a WeDo, or was it the 10 log? Can't remember which one you said. Maybe it was a 10 log. I can't remember. But yeah, that was fun so far. Let's see. Oh, the Kaiwu. Forgive me, Kaiwu. Yeah, I don't have one of those. People say it's a good machine. I'm not sure. I've never tried it, but people say it's a good machine. Tripod likes it. But okay, so I think we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you all for joining me, and we're going to wrap it up. And I will see you probably Wednesday night. I'm guessing. I'll probably do a hangout on Wednesday night, or do not a hangout. I'll have a hangout Tuesday night for sure, but I'll do a continuation of this Wednesday evening after work. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all on Tuesday on my hangout at 7 p.m. Eastern, and on Wednesday, probably around 7 o'clock in the evening, Wednesday also, where we continue this build. Thank you, guys, and take care.